All right, let's get right into it. Your personal operating system, it's got a huge pricing error, a really critical one. You are fundamentally undervaluing your most precious non-renewable asset, your time. And look, this isn't about hustling or working harder. Nope. This is about fixing a deep-seated bug in your own personal algorithm. So today, we're going to install a patch. Let's call it the $1,000 an hour filter.
So for most of us, this is the default setting, $15. That's it. This is the price tag your system automatically slaps on an hour of your time, for the non-specialized stuff, the tasks that anyone could really do. It's the baseline, right? It's the number your internal programming just defaults to unless you consciously step in and change it.
And this is the system correction we're talking about. We're literally overriding that old default value with a brand new, completely non-negotiable variable, $1,000. Now let me be clear, this is not some crazy exaggeration. It's a filter. Think of it as the new minimum requirement, the hurdle that every single thing has to clear before it gets access to your time and attention. It's all about protecting your core processor from junk data.
Okay, so where does this huge pricing mistake even come from? Well, the root of the bug, the real problem, is how your system thinks about the whole idea of being busy. It's a fundamental misreading of the data, and it leads to an absolutely catastrophic loss of your potential output. So let's pop the hood and diagnose this bottleneck. We treat being busy like it's some kind of badge of honor, right? But what if it's not? In systems thinking, busy is a warning light on the dashboard. It's a big, flashing alert telling you that your processor is completely clogged with low-value tasks. It's stopping the important, high-leverage work from ever getting through. Your system isn't failing because you lack skill or talent. No way. It's failing because you're burning through $1,000 energy to solve $15 problems.
And this brings us to the most common symptom of this bug. I'm talking about the DIY trap. We've all been there, right? You spend, say, 4 hours on a Saturday fixing a leaky pipe just to save $200 on a plumber, and your brain registers that as a win. Look at me, I saved money. But it's a total miscalculation, a catastrophic one. If your time is truly valued at our new rate, that's $1,000 an hour, you just spent $4,000 of your most valuable asset to save a measly $200 in cash. You didn't save money, you literally just incinerated $3,800 of potential value. Poof, gone.
All right, so we know the old variable is busted. How do we actually install the new one? Well, the whole solution kicks off by defining and then implementing something called the aspirational rate. And believe me, this is the absolute core of the entire protocol. Now, this is where most people, most users, make a really critical mistake. They calculate their hourly rate based on what they're making right now. I make $100,000 a year, divide by the hours, so my time's worth $50 an hour. Wrong. That's a lagging indicator. It's based on your past performance. The aspirational rate is a leading indicator. It's a target that you set for your future value, and it forces all of your decisions right now to start aligning with that much higher potential.
So let's just go ahead and set the variable, $1,000 an hour. That's it. This is your new hurdle rate. It is the filter, the gatekeeper, that every single potential task must pass through. Before you say yes to a meeting, before you run an errand, before you take on a new project, you have to ask one simple question. Does this activity generate at least $1,000 an hour in value for me? And if the answer is no, the system's default action is reject, period. No overrides.
Okay, so let's talk about the mechanism itself, the nuts and bolts. Once that $1,000 an hour filter is up and running, every single task that comes your way gets processed by a really simple but incredibly powerful sorting algorithm. And it only has 4 possible places for a task to go. 4 buckets.
Let's walk through the logic here. First up, delete. And this is huge. The vast majority of stuff that hits your inbox, useless emails, notifications, most meetings, it's just noise. If it generates less than $100 of value, it goes straight to the trash. Don't even think about it. Second, automate. Those recurring tasks like paying bills or scheduling appointments? Build a system to handle it. Solve the problem once and let the code run forever. Third, and this is a big one, delegate. These are the things that have to get done, just not by you. Cleaning your house, running errands, preparing your taxes. This is pure labor arbitrage. Think about it. If you can pay someone $50 an hour to do a task, you are literally buying back an hour of your own time for just 5% of its value. That is a $950 net gain. What an incredible ROI. And that leaves us with the final bucket, do. This is for the 1%, The work that requires your unique genius, your strategy, your creativity, building key relationships. This is where you need to live.
And just look at this distribution, because it's absolutely crucial. 80%. Let that sink in. 80% of what is probably filling up your day right now should just be deleted. Not delegated, not automated, eliminated, gone. The most powerful part of this whole protocol isn't about getting more stuff done. It's about being absolutely ruthless in purging what doesn't matter so you can finally make space for that tiny fraction of things that actually do.
Now, the protocol itself is simple, but simple does not mean easy. The truth is, most users who try to install the system in their lives are going to fail, and the bugs that cause the failure, well, they're almost always psychological, not logistical.
You know this voice, right? It's the voice of the ego. It's a control issue that pretends it's all about efficiency. It's that little thought that says, oh, no one can do it as well as me, or it's just faster if I do it myself. That is a trap. You are trading your high-leverage freedom for low-leverage control. The protocol demands a new rule. You have to learn to accept 80% perfection from someone else in order to reclaim 100% of your most valuable time. It's a trade your system absolutely has to make to level up.
And this right here, this is the single biggest reason the entire protocol crashes and burns. It's what I call reinvestment failure. You do the hard work, you delegate a task, you free up 2 hours, and then what do you do with it? You reinvest that time into some low-value activity, like scrolling through social media or binging a show. You haven't actually created any value. You've just turned a time asset into a time liability. This protocol only works, and I mean only works, if you reinvest every single minute you save directly back into your do bucket, into high-leverage asset-creating work.
So, what does this all look like? What's the optimal end state we're aiming for?
Well, when the protocol is running correctly, when that filter is active and you're reinvesting your time wisely, you achieve a state of just extreme effectiveness.
And honestly, this is the ultimate payoff. You've finally escaped the trap of productivity, which is just a game of trying to do more things. Instead, you enter this whole new realm of selectivity, which is all about doing only the right things. You stop being the bricklayer, the person paid for their labor, and you become the architect, the person paid for their judgment and their vision. Your main job is no longer to do the work, but to decide what work even gets done in the first place.
So let's end with a call to action, because this isn't just theory. Think of it as an executable file. The protocol is ready to run. The only question left is, what is the very first $15 task that your system is going to delete, starting right now?